So, Claude will now run an AI employee for you on a schedule in the cloud. No server, no code. It's called routines. It's built into Claude Code. And for most people, it is honestly the easiest way to get your first AI employee. So here's the question I had to answer for myself. If Anthropic will schedule agents for me as part of the plan I already pay for, why am I still running my own employees on my own database on a $5 a month server with my own approval system? That answer is this whole video, because the difference between a scheduled task and an employee is the difference between renting and owning. I'm going to show you both, and by the end, you'll know exactly which one you should start with. So, first, I'm going to tell you what routines actually are. So, first, the honest timeline. This shipped a few months back. Earlier this year, it's not breaking news. I'm covering it because most people running Claude Code still haven't even used it yet. And because comparing it to what I built teaches you something neither one teaches alone. So, what are routines? In normal people terms, a routine is a saved job for Claude. You write the instructions once, connect what it needs, and it runs by itself. No computer left on overnight, no server rented. It runs on Anthropic's machines. So there's three ways to fire one. On a schedule, like a cron job, like every morning at 2 a.m. By an API call, meaning another program can trigger it, or by a GitHub event, like reviewing the code the moment someone pushes changes. The example most people use: a routine wakes up at night, reads a bug report, makes any bugs that might be found, opens up a draft pull request for you to review in the morning, just basically letting you know what was done. All this work happened while you slept. So that's what I've seen, really, they're using it for like technical stuff like bug fixing. So there's two fine print details that matter. One, everything a routine does, it does as you, through your account, your name on every action. And here's the second. There are reported daily caps, roughly 5 to 25 runs depending on your plan. So you are limited to how many routines you can do, depending on what plan you have with Anthropic. So this is a capped allowance built into the plan you already pay for. That's still a big deal. It's just not unlimited free labor. So that's an offer on the table. Scheduled AI workers, no server, no code, included in the plan. I mean, this is good. This is providing a lot of value to a lot of people. So now I'm going to show you what I run instead, and then we'll get to the why. So here's my employee and the receipts. The quick version for anyone new: I run teams of AI employees, teams of agents. First one being that I set up a research agent that works a real shift for my business once a week. It studies how my content performed, all my marketing, how my business is doing, hunts down what's working in my lane, hands me content ideas with reasoning attached. It drafts, I approve, nothing happens without me. It gives me the receipts, shows me basically payroll for my AI employee, how much it costs per shift, how much time it takes. It's all verified on my bill. It lives on a $5 a month server that my other agents share. It's about 3 shifts old. And the part that matters for today, it runs against a database that I own. That's the main thing. Every idea it's ever pitched, every content idea that's got made, how every content has performed. And I have seen results already, which is amazing to me, that with just social content, that within like a month, it's already driving users to my app, my very first app. And that's not easy. Most people that have built an app can tell you, they put it out there and just silence, nothing happens. So since last week, it reads the history before it makes the picks. It's not starting from zero every week. It is getting smarter every week. And it's going off of the information that has accumulated since it has started working. So Anthropic's version, no server, no code. My version, $5 a month, and a lot of building, a lot of learning, and a lot of building. And there's still going to be a lot more. This is definitely not easy. This is the most complex thing I built, and in some ways it's also very simple, but there's just so many different nuances to it that you don't know until you actually start using it. So here's why I'm building mine again anyway. Now that I've gone through the process and I know what the options are, I will definitely stick with my custom AI employees. Here's the real difference. A routine is a task on a timer. An employee has a memory, a manager, and a job description. So, difference number one, the memory. A scheduled task runs your prompt fresh every time. My agent reads its own track record out of my database before every shift. What it pitched, what I approved, what actually performed. Same model, completely different worker, because one of them learns. That history lives in my database. If I switch models tomorrow or switch platforms entirely, the memory still stays with me. That's the renting versus owning line. The run can be rented. The memory should be owned. Here's difference number two, the approval gate. My agent drafts, then it waits. Nothing gets published, posted, or spent without me clicking approve. That gate is not a nice to have. It's the reason I can let agents touch the real business. I've also got limits on how much can be spent. Things can happen. So a routine acts as your account on its own, on a schedule, for code with a pull request in the middle. That is great. That is an approval gate. For your business systems, you have to build the gate yourself. So difference number three, the job description. A routine does one saved task. An employee sits inside a system. My research agents output, my first agent in my workflow, feeds my content board. The outcomes feed back into its next shift, and the same database feeds my other agents. None of my agents start from zero because they share what they know. They can communicate together, and I will even be building a manager for each team. So it'll be just like a normal structure for a normal corporation. Each team has employees in it. Each department has its own employees, and each department has a manager for those employees. And basically, I want to move from speaking to the employees as a CEO to speaking to the manager of the employees as a CEO. So one task on a timer can't do that. A team on one database can. So you're probably asking yourself, which one should you use? Here's the part where I don't dunk on the easy option. I'm not trying to take the easy layup every time, because the easy option is right for most people watching this. If you have never run an AI agent, start with routines. It's easy. No server, no code. It's included in what you're paying. You can pick one boring repeating task and schedule it. You will learn more in 1 week of doing a real routine running than in a month of reading about agents. And I can tell you from researching these agents, there is a lot of conflicting information out there. There are so many people that are posting content about their agents, and it's really not what I'm talking about. It's very different. And I don't know if these people don't understand it, or if it's just that talking about agents in a different type of way gets engagement. I'm not sure. But either way, I can tell there's a huge disconnect right now with people understanding what is possible with custom agents. So the graduation line. Rent the run, own the data. Rent the run, own the data. The moment an agent's output feeds a real business decision, you want its memory in a database you own and an approval gate you control. That's when you build. That was my path in reverse. I built custom because my whole business already runs on one database, and I needed the agent to live where the business lives. If your business doesn't have that yet, the scheduled task is your on-ramp, not your destination. So now I'm going to let you know where I think this is going. I think scheduled agents will become a checkbox on every platform. Basically, every AI platform, whether it's like GPT, Anthropic, Claude, Gemini, whatever it is, it's essentially going to be a commodity. Hybrid fleets will become normal. I think people will start to slowly implement these platform routines, and essentially People are going to use them for very simple things. I think in the short term, I think that's going to be like most people just like doing daily tasks for their own like personal lives. I think they're not going to really benefit from taking the time to go and like understand how to build their own database, how to like hook all that up, all the different nuances like I was talking about that comes with dealing with data and transferring data and having these agents do this correctly. That is major. That is going to be like too big of a hurdle for most people that are using these, and they're not going to need that. But when it comes to business, I think this is going to be night and day. I think the business world is it's already starting to, mainly with, from what I understand, these big major corporations, because they can afford it. But I think the smaller to medium sized businesses, they're going to be the ones over the next like maybe 2 years, maybe 2 to 3 years, I'm thinking that it's going to slowly start coming in over these small businesses to the point where it gets to be like, okay, when about half of these businesses implement these, every other business's competitor is going to realize that if they don't implement custom agents and custom AI employees for their business, they're going to go out of business because they're not going to be able to compete just because of the overhead. The overhead of hiring employees when they don't need them, or having employees that are just manually doing things instead of using agents to help them do better, it's not going to work. This is going to happen like slowly, I think, over the next, like I'm saying, like 2 years. And then with the like, maybe year 2 to year 3, it's just going to start really excelling. And I think that the way that, Anthropic and GPT and Gemini, the main players, are set up, even probably Grok, I think that's going to come out to be a main player too. But basically, I think the way that they're set up, it's going to be like really technically difficult for them to implement these custom employees the way that I am, the way that they have their own database. It's just going to be like not possible for them. So I think there's going to be basically a line drawn where like most people that are just doing this for their personal lives, that are just, trying to get their to-do list done each week, they're going to be able to set up these routines. Even though it's possible, most people from what I've seen that are using like GPT and Anthropic are still not using these routines yet. That's basically my prediction. That's what my intuition is telling me. I've always been good at predicting tech trends, and that's where I think this is going. So as always, every video I do, I'm always going to try to like share my opinion on where I'm seeing the future, my vision as a visionary. So now you know what I think. I think we're on the brink, something great. Here's the one sentence to take with you. A scheduled task is a feature, an employee is a system, and the system is the part you want to own. And honestly, the fact that scheduled agents now come included with a Claude plan is great news for everybody. The on-ramp has never been cheaper. Start with the routine, learn what agents can do, and when the work starts feeding your real business, graduate to owning the data. There's room for everybody. There's enough for us all. Nature will provide. Everything is great. It's all about abundance, more abundance every time. If you want the exact setup I use to build real systems without being a developer, grab the free Claude Code starter kit. Link in the description and pinned in the comments. Give thanks every time. I'll see you in the next video. Like up the like button, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already because I'm coming through with new information steady. I'm out.